CWR Breakfast
with Phil Upton.
18 minutes to 9. Play of the weekend before 9 o'clock. And we're going to catch up with Howes Primary School, who've only been given a national award for their campaign on making services more user-friendly for deaf children. We're going to hear a bit more about that from the school and the kids involved in it before 9 o'clock this morning. First of all, though, Thursday morning, time to catch up with all things in the movie world. BBC CWR's movie critic, Stratford-upon-Avon, James Luxford. Morning, James.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming back on with us this morning on BBC CWR. And, something to start with in cinemas as of this Friday.
Yes, in cinemas Friday and in Netflix on the 16th of October, it's The Trial of the Chicago 7, Sacha Baron Cohen, Eddie Redmayne and Michael Keaton starring the story of 7 anti-Vietnam War protesters charged with inciting riots at the 1968 Democratic Convention.
We're going to Chicago to protest the Vietnam War.
And there's no place to be right now but in it.
We watched for a decade while these rebels without a job tell us how to prosecute a war. Well, they're going to spend their 30s in a federal facility, real time.
People say, you know, Abby, are you concerned about an overreaction from the cops? You all right?
I was until I saw that.
Okay, a lot of dramatic music going on there, James. I mean, two things, I suppose. First of all, straight away, Sacha Baron Cohen in what is a very different sort of role for him, and probably secondly, it's probably worth just trying to sort of put into context for our audience the times, isn't it, and exactly what was going on in 1968, the presidential election, the Vietnam War, and everything that was happening in America at that time.
Yes, it's I suppose mirrors our times a little bit. It was a very divisive time. The Vietnam War had split a nation. As you said, there was an election going on, and people were divided among very strict party lines, I suppose, and it made incidents like this almost legendary. I'm sure you'll know the writer Aaron Sorkin, who created The West Wing, directs and writes this, and so it's that sort of movie. It's a political drama, and I enjoyed it. It's a great cast, including Mark Rylance and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and as you said, Sacha Baron Cohen. He's back as Borat next month on Amazon, but here he's very serious, and. I thought it was very, very compelling. So great performances all around. One of those movies with just someone in it every 5 minutes who you recognise and really enjoy. There's sort of Oscar winners all over the place, and gripping and intriguing story.
Very intoxicating time in America, and heightened, charged emotions around the Vietnam War, and really captured in The Trial of the Chicago 7, as you say, in cinemas on Friday, and Netflix, if you prefer to watch it that way, from the 16th of October. Next one, a classic TV pick for us for tonight.
Yes, tonight, BBC 4, 8 p.m, North by Northwest, Alfred Hitchcock's classic starring Cary Grant as an executive accidentally caught up in international espionage.
Oh, can we take a cab into Thornhill?
What, for 2 blocks?
You're late and tired.
You know that's your trouble, Maggie. You don't eat properly. All right. Here, taxi? I look heavyish to you.
What?
I feel heavyish. Put a note on my desk in the morning. Think thin.
Think thin.
What's that supposed to be?
Car's waiting outside. You will walk between us saying nothing.
What are you talking about?
Let's go.
Classic and a great thriller.
One of the great movies of all time, in my opinion. Just a pleasure to watch. A man who's being chased and doesn't really know why. That's the kind of tension Hitchcock excels at, and unforgettable finale on top of Mount Rushmore. If you've never seen it, treat yourself. It's an absolute classic.
Thursday night, tonight, 8 p.m. on BBC 4. And if you go onto the BBC iPlayer, I don't know if you've noticed this, James, as well. You go on the BBC iPlayer, click on films. At the moment, there is a whole season, isn't there, of some of these classic movies in which North by Northwest is part of this collection that you can be watching.
Absolutely. It's a real treasure trove sometimes. The catch-up services across the network of movies that have been on TV recently or are just there for you to discover.
Good stuff. And I watched Zodiac off the BBC iPlayer the other night, which is another one that kind of goes back to the 1970s. Let's get back up to date, shall we? And something to look forward to on Sunday afternoon.
Sunday, 1:45 on ITV2, it's Looney Tunes Back in Action, a family comedy starring Brendan Fraser and Jenna Elfman as adventurers who team up with Bugs Bunny and friends to foil the plans of an evil madman, played by Steve Martin.
I am a duck, bent on self-preservation.
Say your prayers, Wabbit. It's Wabbit season.
Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Fire!
Never fails, does it? Really. Love it. There's a classic Looney Tunes moment, James.
Absolutely, and good fun. And this is from around 2003. It's sort of, I suppose, a bit of a follow-up to Space Jam, which was, of course, a classic in the mid-90s. But this is good fun. It's a funny kids' adventure that never really takes itself too seriously, as you heard there. You've got cameos from people like Timothy Dalton, and of course the Looney Tunes characters, which I think everyone has a soft spot for. A lovely weekend family film that I think everyone's going to access and find some enjoyment in.
ITV2 on Sunday afternoon at 1:45. James, I appreciate that, and I'm going to go online when we come off air this morning and try and book myself into the cinema for Trial of the Chicago 7 at some point over the weekend. Just to go back and support the cinema at the moment, because I'm sure that's something that's very much needed at the moment in our cinemas across Coventry and Warwickshire.
Yes, absolutely, and I've read news this morning that in America, James Cameron and Christopher Nolan are teaming up to save cinemas that are facing closure. Some of the smaller cinemas are really struggling under the pandemic conditions. And I think while it's going to be a while before we can get back to a normal sort of cinema slate, there are some great movies to check out right now.
Good stuff. James, appreciate it. Thanks very much indeed. James Luxford, movie reviewer in Stratford-upon-Avon. His picks for the weekend in the cinema and on the telly as well.
BBC CWR.